GMS Detroit, but I'd like to say all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rikakradash, double honors to the elders of the apostles of GMS who rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect out there. With that being said, we're going to get into a quick lesson. This lesson is concerning the Russia aiding Iran, well, the rumor of Russia aiding Iran to attack this CIA military base in the Middle East. So this happened a couple of days ago, and America's gathering their intelligence, and their intelligence is coming back reporting that the only way possible for them to have known where this base was at is the help of Russia. So, and this lesson is really concerned is really actually to identify Russia in Revelations 13. And so we're going to take a look at Revelations 13 in a second. After we look at the video, and then we'll identify Russia in Revelation 13, and then we will also explain the role of Russia in Revelations 13. So that's the purpose of this video. So let's look at the video first, and then we'll get to the scripts.
Now, in a big development in the ongoing West Asia war, the United States intelligence community is investigating Russia's alleged role in attacks on CIA facilities across the Gulf. According to Reuters report, Russia assisted Iran by providing advanced drone technology or intelligence used in the attacks. Reuters reported that the US officials are yet to reach a definitive conclusion if Moscow directly supported the operations. As a possible evidence, investigators are reportedly examining the accuracy and effectiveness of the Iranian drone strikes and Russia's broader technical support for Iran. Earlier, it has been widely reported that Russia has provided targeting and other support for Iran to attack the US targets in the Gulf region. But this is the first time possible Russian involvement in CIA facility attacks is being investigated. According to reports, at least 2 CIA facilities were struck in March. One of the facilities was the CIA station in Saudi Arabia, which is located in the US Embassy in Riyadh. US intelligence agencies are reportedly probing if Iran relied on Russian targeting data during the drone attack on the US Embassy in Riyadh. The second CIA facility that is attacked was located in eastern Iraq. Reuters report suggests that additional CIA sites had also been hit, but the details were not disclosed.
All right, there we have it. So hey, there we have it. We have the information right there. They can't pinpoint it, but they just saying that the only way that they could know these targets is to help Russia. So we see this game being played. We see that Russia is helping Iran, whose Iran is warring with America and Israel, and we see that America is helping Ukraine, who was actually warring with Russia. So it's like a tit for tat. If you help my enemies, I'm going to help your enemies. And that's what's going on right now. And so this is Russia's big role. And this is actually the scriptures just coming to life, because, when you get in this truth, you find out different things, that these Christians don't have a clue about, you know what I'm saying? So let's take look at Revelation 13. And it's and here it is. It says, start at verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So when you get into that scripture, and we talking about this is John the Revelator, who actually wrote the book of Revelations. He was They tried killing John the Revelator. He couldn't. They couldn't kill him. Try to boiling him in oil. So when that did not prevail, they moved him and banished him to the Isle of Patmos. I think it was a salt mine, if I'm not mistaken. So they banished him to the Isle of Patmos, where he wrote the Revelations and whatnot. So it says, and I stood upon the sands of the sea, and that sand of the sea, like I say, is the island of Patmos, and the sea is actually the Mediterranean Sea, but it also represents people, nations, tongues, and kingdoms. So, and then it says, you always see when we mention bodies of water in the scriptures, a lot of times it's not literal. It's actually talking about people, you know, people, nations, tongues, and kingdoms and whatnot. So, and we can go to the next thing is the seven heads. It says having seven heads. Okay, the beast that rises up out of the sea having seven heads, and this seven-headed beast, it represents seven kingdoms: Germania Major, Germania Minor, Rome, Greece, France, Spain, and Britain. This is the seven-headed beast. And then the 10 horns represents the EU, or the EEC, the European Economic Community, or the EU, European Union. These basically the 10 horns are represented as Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, England, and Ireland, and West Germany. So these are the 10 toes spoke about in Daniel 2. So, yeah, these, it was written like this. And like I said, Christians take this thing literally. You know what I'm saying? They think about these big, horrible beasts and thinking about it as, dragons actually, and this and that, this and that, this and that. But see, Christianity is only produced to hide and hide the truth and throw your mind off of the truth. You know what I'm saying? But if you ask a Christian about this, they think that these literal beasts actually exist, like Godzilla and them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, if you ask any Christian about this, they won't know the breakdown of these scriptures and stuff. And even if you go into the statue of Daniel, Daniel told them these are great. These represents kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? When you broke down the sections of the statue and whatnot. So nevertheless, but we are here today to prove the role of the bear and the bear in this Revelation 13. So we'll move on, and it says, this is Revelation 13:2. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So this leopard they're talking about, this actually goes back to Alexander the Great. And Alexander the Great, if you ever see him, a lot of times he's either using a leopard skin as a saddle on his horse, or he has his leopard skin draped around his body. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of pictures and stuff. Lately it's been hard to find those pictures, but if you search for them diligently, you can find those pictures of Alexander the Great with the leopard skin wrapped around his body. And I see many of them as using it as a saddle on his horse also. So nevertheless, getting back to the scripture, it says, and the beast which I saw was like a leopard, which is Alexander the Great. And it says, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. Now this is when we get into Russia. Russia is always synonymous with a bear. You know, I knew that even when I was a kid, and not even in the truth. You know what I'm saying? Russia and bears go together. You know, they're synonymous. So, nevertheless, um, um, this is the role of Russia right here as the feet. You know what I'm saying? Um, and what we call it, while they are the feet, is because Russia is going to carry. You know, what did the feet do? The feet carries your body, right? You carry your body around. So the feet of the Russia, being the bear, they are going to carry the Edomites into World War III. They're going to carry the Edomites into to bringing this whole system down. So that's why they are represented as the feet of the bear. And we see this role that Russia's playing today. We see the literal scriptures just actually coming to life right before our eyes when you watch some of these news articles and whatnot. Russia is instigating, and Russia got their hand in a lot of things and whatnot. And we see, and we also know that Russia is the leader and he's the leader of in having the most nuclear weapons also. So Russia plays a big important part in this whole thing. And like I say, they are the feet of the beast, which are the feet of bear, and they are going to carry the whole body, the whole body of the beast off to this destruction. You know what I'm saying? And it says the mouth of a lion, and that mouth of the lion is Britain, Great Britain, and the dragon which gave him power, and that dragon which gave him power is actually represents the Roman Empire. So and it says and his seat and his great authority. So yeah, that's the Roman Empire. Roman Empire. That's 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 running the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's also the Roman Empire. Their goes back to America. You know what I'm saying? America is also the revitalized Roman Empire, and how should we say it, the it's the America is the revitalized Roman Empire, and the head state, I guess, of the Edomites. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that um, break down that first part of the Revelations 13 and identify the bear. You know, and we see that the bear, aka Russia, is actually fulfilling prophecy. You know, he's instigating everything. He's going to carry this thing over and carry them into World War III. You know, he is the large shareholder of nuclear weapons, and like I say, he's the one that's